Rollatini is the Italian-American name for involtini, which means little bundles in Italian. And this method of stuffing and rolling a thin cut of meat transforms a simple chicken breast into something truly special. Let's get rolling. Begin by pounding out the chicken, and here I have 8 chicken cutlets. The goal is to get them about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch thick, or basically as thin as you can go without it tearing. This will give you plenty of surface area to roll them easily and create more of a spiral on the inside. Now let's prep the filling. So grate about 6 ounces of Fontina cheese and finely mince a handful or about 1/3 cup of fresh parsley. To begin assembly, lay each cutlet out on your cutting board and sprinkle with a pinch of salt and black pepper. Then add a slice of prosciutto, and on the end closest to you, pile on a couple tablespoons of the cheese and spread it out slightly. Then sprinkle a small amount of the parsley over the entire cutlet. Begin rolling it up, trying to get most but not all of the cheese in the first fold. Make the roll as tight as possible without letting the filling spill at the sides. Once you have your bundle, flip it over to expose the open seam, then use 2 toothpicks to secure the outside layer with the one beneath it so it doesn't fall apart while cooking. Please note that if your prosciutto is larger than the chicken, you can fold or tear it to fit evenly. And avoid adding too much cheese because it could melt and come out the sides while the chicken cooks. You can also use regular ham and other cheeses like Gruyere or provolone if that's what you prefer. Heat up a large pan over medium heat and add 1 tablespoon each of olive oil and butter. Start laying in the chicken toothpick side up, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. During this part of the cooking process, we just want to get them seared on both sides and we'll finish cooking in the oven. So let them sit for 3 to 4 minutes on the first side, and in the meantime, you can finely mince 1 shallot and 2 cloves of garlic, which will be used to make the sauce later on. After the first side is golden brown, flip and cook for another 2 minutes on the second side. Then transfer them to a baking sheet lightly coated with olive oil. Repeat with the remaining rolls. Once all are seared, place the baking sheet in the center of a 400-degree oven and bake for 10 to 12 minutes, which should give you just enough time to build the sauce. Add a fresh teaspoon of olive oil to the same pan we cooked the chicken in, and on medium-low heat, saute the minced shallot with a pinch of salt for 2 minutes or until softened. Make room in the center of the pan and drop in the garlic with a splash of olive oil so it doesn't burn. Fry it for 1 minute or until lightly golden, before mixing everything together. Next, pour in half a cup of white wine, such as Chardonnay or Pinot Grigio. Now you can turn the heat up to medium to let it reduce. This will also completely deglaze the pan, bringing up any brown bits from searing the chicken, which will flavor the sauce. Once the liquid has reduced by half, pour in 1 cup of chicken broth that's been warmed up so you don't bring down the temperature of the pan. Bring that to a simmer, and once again, let it reduce by half. Turn the heat down to low and begin adding about 2 tablespoons of cold butter cut into small pieces. Mix it in a couple pieces at a time, ensuring that it's fully melted before adding more. After the butter is incorporated, finish with a pinch of salt and pepper and about a tablespoon of the minced parsley. This should give you a silky pan sauce that's just thick enough to coat a spoon, but isn't too heavy. At this point, the chicken should be fully cooked, but if you don't finish the sauce before the chicken has been in the oven for 12 minutes, make sure you take it out beforehand. It's a good idea to let them rest for a few minutes, and while they do so, you can carefully remove the toothpicks, or you can leave that task for your guests. Plate them up with a generous amount of sauce and a garnish of parsley before enjoying. These would go great with sautéed spinach, green beans, or roasted potatoes for a complete meal. Please share your thoughts in the comments, or let me know which Italian-inspired recipe you'd like to see next.